Alrighty, so the brows are done and our eyelids are already primed. I'm going to start with Birkin eyeshadow by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and that is going to act as my transition shade. I wanted like a neutral brown in the crease, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more definition with a deeper brown that's a little bit more warm. And this one is from the 35K palette by Morphe. And with that same blending brush, I'm just going to be depositing it a little bit lower into the crease than I did with that Birkin shade. And this is just going to help add more definition and depth to the crease. Next, I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush just by using a makeup wipe. I actually like this technique a lot better than using Fix Plus. It's quick and easy. And then taking MAC's Tan Pigment. I absolutely love this pigment. It's one of my favorites. And I'm just using that to pack on all over my eyelid. And I wet my brush just so that the eyeshadow could be a little bit more pigmented. I mean, it's already a pigment, so it doesn't have to be more pigmented. And also just so it has a little bit more of a metallic shine to it. And then I'm just taking that same blending brush with nothing left on it and using that just to buff out any harsh edges. And then again, just wetting that brush for the other eye. Bada bing. And then going ahead and packing on more of that pigment. And then of course, blending it out. And then just taking the same makeup wipe, I'm just going to wipe off any fallout that I have from under my eye area. And moving on to lashes, I'm using Goddess by Koko Lashes. And then priming my eyelashes with mascara, I'm using the Benefit Roller Lash. And I feel that this technique kind of helps the lashes adhere a lot better to the eye. And I like to apply them just on the center, making sure it sticks on the center, and then using the outer corner and making that stick on, and then the inner corner and sticking that on as well. If you guys want a more in-depth tutorial on false lashes and how to apply them, I definitely will do one. Moving on to the face, I'm priming with the Becca Backlight priming filter. I wanted this look to have a little bit more of a luminous glow to it, so I like using this as my face primer just because any foundation you put on top of it, whether it's luminous or matte, I feel like it still helps to achieve that look. And I'm actually going for a more hydrated look, so I'm using the Makeupforever Ultra HD foundation. What I do is I dab it all over my skin, and then I just go ahead and take any beauty blender. This is just the original beauty blender. The Real Techniques one is really good also. And make sure it's damp, and that's going to help buff out the foundation and pick up any excess, and it helps prevent it from being cakey. For the eyes, I'm going to be using the Becca Brightening concealer, I think it's called. It's literally the best color correcting concealer I've ever used. I'm just using a fluffy synthetic buff, a blending brush to buff that out. And that's kind of going to help apply, so I wanted to blend it out even more so it's not creasing, and I use my beauty blender for this. Again, it's damp, and I didn't show a clip of this, but this is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Vanilla, and I'm using this to highlight. I don't apply it all the way up to my lash line just because when I blend it out, I'm going to blend it up that way anyway, and I don't want it to cake up in any lines under the eyes. And then again, just blending that out with the beauty blender. Literally, a beauty blender is my best friend. I love it so much. And you want to make sure that you set that area, of course. So I'm using the Morphe 9C palette, those two yellow banana-y shades, using that to set everywhere that I went ahead and applied the concealer. So the under eye, the forehead, bridge of the nose, chin, cupid's bow, all that jazz. And then I'm going to set the rest of my face using a normal powder that's not yellow. This is the MAC MIneralize SkinFinish in the shade Light Plus, and a huge fluffy brush just to pack that on. And then next we're going to bronze. I'm using the Hoola Benefit bronzer. I love this stuff so much. I actually am going to contour with it. I use the brush that it comes with just because I like the precise line that it gives. So I make a very harsh line and then I buff it upwards. And then when there's nothing left on my brush, I'll do little circular motions, again moving upward. And if also you want a contouring video on how I personally contour, highlight, and bronze, again, just let me know in the comments down below. I'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, so again, just making a harsh line and then buffing it out, and I'm also applying it around the forehead area, and I did the jawline as well. And moving on to blush, I'm using the Becca Wild Honey blush. This is my favorite blush for spring and summer. It's like a really pretty peachy shade, but it almost kind of looks like a bronzer. I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but it's such a pretty shade. And now to highlight, I'm using the Anastasia Gleam Glow Kit. I love this stuff. I didn't show what shades I used, but I mixed Crushed Pearl and Mimosa. And using a Morphe 310 fan brush, this is my favorite brush to highlight with. I feel like it deposits a lot of product without looking so, like, I don't know, like a disco ball. But I like this. I feel like it gives a natural glow. And then I'm going back in with that fluffy brush I used for my eyeshadow with no additional product. And I'm using that to buff and add a little bit more definition under the eye area. And I was actually talking to my boyfriend here, so I was a little bit distracted. Don't mind me. And moving on to lips, I'm using the Kylie Lip Kit in the shade number 22. I literally am so obsessed with this color. I honestly have nothing else to say about it. I just love it so much. This is a really pretty burnt, like terracotta orangey shade. I don't know, it's so hard to explain. I feel like it's literally going to be my favorite lipstick for spring and summer. I'm completely obsessed with it. And then to highlight the inner corner, I'm taking that Gleam Glow Kit again, using the shade Mimosa, just to highlight the inner corners. And that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below what any other videos you guys would like to see. I definitely would love some requests just so I can have some more ideas on what videos you guys actually want to see. And don't forget to follow me on any social media. I will have that all linked down in the bottom bar below for you guys. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!